education.minecraft.net. You can download from here for your teacher device. There are other places to download for student devices. If you're on iPads, you can download it from the APS app catalog that's on the iPads. For Chromebooks, you can get it for students from the App Store. Once you sign in here, you'll sign in. Students will sign in with their student ID and their regular password. Teachers will sign in with their e-employee number as an email address. Mine's like E131 something at APS.edu. You can see it right there. Signed in as E131931 at APS.edu. You'll sign in the same way with your e-employee number at APS.edu. Not your email address and not just your employee number. E-employee number at APS.edu.
So Seth, would the students sign in as their ID number at aps.edu or just their ID number?
ID number at aps.edu.
Okay.
It's through Microsoft, and that's how the Microsoft sign-ins work too. Once you sign yourself in, you get to a web page like this, and you can set this up for whatever works for you. You can find some different lesson plans down here. Lesson plans, there's a bunch of different stuff that's in here. This one is loss of biodiversity, deforestation, lots of different things you can find. And you can actually search for different lessons. So we can come up here, teach with Minecraft, explore lessons.
Mm-hmm.
So Jacqueline, what do you teach?
I'm teaching gifted fourth grade this year, but I've been doing a lot with computer science and basically technology, stop motion, but we've been using Scratch programming, that kind of thing.
Okay, cool.
Tinkercad.
So, great. When you click on the Explore Lessons, you can come down here, and here's all the different subject areas they have lessons in. So you can find lessons in science, math, computer science is there, language arts. All these are
Climate
here.
and sustainability. Awesome. I love it.
Yeah. So let's look. We can click at some of those. So scrolling down, you can search inside of the subject kit if you like, or you can just scroll down and check it out. This one, I want you to be creative. Your challenge is to build a pollinator garden in Minecraft. So this one has little bees and stuff, a case for biodiversity, a challenge, a zero waste challenge, green building. So there's lots of things. There's a few different lesson plans in there. Let's click on this one, see what that looks like.
Yeah, we just built 3 butterfly gardens, so.
Oh, cool. Perfect.
That will connect nicely.
So it gives you the lesson objectives, extensions. Sometimes you'll find more stuff here about the different steps it wants you to go through for the lesson plan. But you can download the world. I'll download it. And let me change this. I'm going to present I'm going to present a different window.
Okay.
I have Minecraft open and I'm going to show you what that looks like.
Okay.
If my computer ever decides to work, you can't see it yet? There it goes.
I'm seeing it's loading. Yeah. Got it.
I don't know why I'm so slow today. So, all right, so this is the menu screen on Minecraft Education. You can see my name is here, and normally my avatar would be right here. The first thing your students are going to want to do is change their avatar's skin. There he is, my little mad professor guy, mad scientist. So give your students a couple minutes to click on the little coat hanger, and they can move through and choose some of these different skins. They're going to do it anyway, so you may as well give them a couple minutes at the beginning of class to just pick a new skin. That one looks fun.
So skin in Minecraft and sprite in Scratch.
Sure. Yeah. So we click on play.
Mm-hmm.
This is the play menu here. If I click on view my worlds, it will take me into worlds that I've already built or worked in. If I want to use that B world, I'm going to click on import here. And right here in my downloads that popped up, I can click the Be Creative world, click open, and it's going to import the world. Now I click on view my worlds, and here's that Be Creative world here. Click on it, click play, and it's going to take us into the Be Creative.
So kids using Chromebooks will have that file saved to their downloads or?
So it'll probably put it in their Google Drive.
Okay.
And there's a couple different things I can show you in a minute. Depending on how you want to go through it as a teacher, you can share the world to them and let them go through it on their own. You can also host the whole class into your world. That part gets a little tricky sometimes because you have to make sure everybody's on the same version of Minecraft, and sometimes with our Wi-Fi, it doesn't always work as well as we want it to. It took a long time to get me in. Now it's building the terrain. It's going to get us in for a second. But yeah, you can. So there's a couple different ways you can do it. You can download it. You can share it through an LMS like Google Classroom. And they can download it and import it from there. You can just host your students into it. You can have a couple different students download it, and they can host each other in small groups. I can show you how to do some of that stuff here in a second,
Yeah, that
too.
would be cool.
So here's the whole world. Now it's been built for us. And here's the little pollinator garden. So there's some signs here. The monthly challenge, it explains what I want us to do. Boxes like this usually have something inside of it that they would want us to use. So we can see there's how we make our bees, the beehive, all this stuff they've put in here for us to use.
Okay.
Some more instructions on what we can do in here. And let's go check out past here. So here's the garden. Little watering hole. There's some bees flying around. Looks like they're dropping pollen off of themselves because they've loaded up too much. What did it say? Did you know that bees pollinate approximately 1/3 of the food we eat? Pollination is an important part of the life cycle of many plants that allow them to produce fruit. Your challenge this month is to build a pollinator garden in Minecraft, plant some crops nearby, and watch what happens. So we come to the box. It's got poppies, peonies, oxeye daisies, sunflowers, carrots, beetroots. So let's grab some carrots, let's grab some other seeds, grab some flowers. So those are all in my inventory now.
I see.
Now you can see them. You see down across the bottom of my screen where they are.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
We can access those by pushing the related button on our number pad. So for the carrot is in slot number 1, I can push the number 1. Those beetroot seeds are in number 2, so when I push the 2 on my keyboard at the top, 3 gets me the seeds, 4 gets me the peonies. So if I walk over here to this little garden, carrots, and now here's where Minecraft gets a little bit confusing. We are so used to using our left click button as our main button. In Minecraft, we're going to use a right click to do most of our stuff. So if I use the left click, the first thing that happens is I dig a hole. But I don't want to do that. So I want to right click on my carrot. And see it planted the carrot right there. Right click, right click. If I switch to, I can hear them here and hit beetroots, beetroots, beetroots. Now let's come forward again. Let's do slot 3, right click, right click, right click. Let's come over here to the side. Let's do some peonies just for fun. Go.
So right click to select the inventory item and then right click again to plonk it somewhere on the space?
In your inventory on the bottom of the screen, if you hit the corresponding hit the corresponding number on the keyboard, mine are the red buttons here across the top.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So for like carrots, if I push the number 1, if I push number 1, it switches to carrots. If I push the number 4 here, it switches to the peonies.
Okay.
And then I right click to put it down.
I see. Okay. Got it.
If I decide I need some more bees flying around, we can come back over to this little box, right click, and this is the spawn bee. I can put that in, close this, come back over here. That is slot 6. Let's see what happens if I just spawn a bee. There we go.
I see.
So again, I have 6 there, and if I right click, it just spawns a bee, and they immediately go over to those flowers. You can see the bottom right hand corner of my screen. It shows a picture of a mouse, and it shows me what I'm going to be doing with them. So right click place, left click is mine. Left click mine means to that's how we break stuff. So by left clicking, we break things.
Or dig holes.
Yeah. Yeah, I can use a left click to break this fence if I wanted to. If you're using a regular mouse, I recommend using a regular mouse, or at least a mouse that has a wheel on it. You can use the wheel like I just did there. Let me find something new. Here we go. If I go over to these flowers here, ones I don't have, once they're highlighted, you see the black box around the flower. Yeah. Once that's highlighted, if I push the wheel on my mouse, that rose bush just popped up into my inventory. So if you break something by accident, you can wheel click on it, and it'll put it into your inventory. That way, like if I didn't want to destroy this, or if I didn't want to destroy that flower, I find another one of those flowers, I right click or I wheel click on it, and I can put it back in.
Okay.
Let me talk about movement real fast in Minecraft. When I'm looking around side to side, that is moving my mouse side to side. If I want to look up in the sky, I move my mouse up. If I want to look down at the ground, I move my mouse down. So the mouse, think of the mouse itself as your head. Moving the mouse left turns your head left, moving the mouse right turns your head right, moving the mouse up moves your head up, moving the mouse down moves your head down. Okay. To actually walk around, your forward button is your key W. That's forward there. Backwards is S. Moving left is A, and moving right is D. If you look at your keyboard, those 4 keys are basically in a little triangle, A, S, D, W. And this fancy keyboard that I'm using, I won at a conference I went to like 6 years ago. But you can see right here, I have those ASDW. I have them yellow on purpose, so I never lose track of which buttons are my move buttons in Minecraft. ASDW, W forward.
So D, sorry, Seth. D
right.
is right. Is that right?
D is right.
Okay.
A is left.
Yeah, got it.
Now we've taken a couple minutes. We went and explored a little bit. We talked about movement and stuff. Let's come back and check and see what our garden's doing. And you can see some of the plants have grown a little bit. They're not as small as they were a few minutes ago. Yeah, it's pretty remarkable how things like this work in Minecraft. I think if I, just for fun, if I break this and just get some dirt back. So a little dirt patch there. If I give that a couple more minutes, it's not going to be dirt anymore. The grass will have grown into that dirt. Just like it's growing over here. Yeah. Oh, see, these are growing still. Everything's growing. Yeah, they tried to make it, I mean, aside from the fact that everything in Minecraft is squared, they try and make it as close to reality as possible. So things like dirt gets covered up with grass if it's near grass. Plants actually grow. Bees actually pollinate.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a good example, the way that things grow. I can't imagine. I mean, you're just building towns or whatever, structures. They're not going to grow. So
yeah.
This is a good way of showing what they can do.
So there's hundreds of lessons on Minecraft on the website, education.minecraft.net. That was just one example of one lesson. I can go, let me come out of this. I'm going to save and exit. Oh, actually, no. Let me show you how to host, because I promised you I'd show you that.
Okay.
So to pause the game, what I just did there is I hit the escape button on my keyboard to pause. That's something you can use with your students, escape, pause, have them close their monitors a little bit so you can see what they're doing. That way nothing's going to happen to them while they're here. If you want to host, you can come to this little face over here. You see that?
Okay.
Here where I'm at. Click on that and you click start hosting. They're going to create a code for me. I hit confirm. There's an error generating my code today, but normally you'd get like 4 different icons that your students could click on to find here. Let's see. Stop hosting. Let's start again. Let's see what happens. Nope. So you would have stuff like some of the faces. You might have like a flower, a pig, some of the creatures. You can see there's a pig in the background over there.
Okay.
You would have pictures like that. The students would come to the same area and type in a connection, or actually from save and exit.
So it doesn't automatically save their work. They have to do that.
They have to do that.
Okay.
Your students would come here to join world, and it would give them the place to hit the join code.
Okay.
If we go to create new, I'll just show you some of the settings in here. If you're going to have students working on certain things, you can have them come in here. Again, create new brings this up right here. They can change their world. So if you're going to be working on like a certain project, maybe if you want them doing something like building their own bee garden, they can just name it bee garden.
Mm-hmm.
Have your students in your class when they're working on lessons with you switch this drop down menu here to creative, they're going to want to play in survival mode, but that means they have to fight off things like zombies and all kinds of stuff like that. So have them switch to creative, leave it as peaceful. There's different types of worlds. An infinite world is like what we see over here, where it has mountains and trees and all the different things that are in the real world. You can switch to a flat world. That means they can just start building stuff right away. If you put an infinite world, they might have to go and do some mining and flatten the whole area out before they even start.
I
So for
see.
most lessons, we recommend starting with a flat world. And moving further down, coming into cheats. For lessons in class, I would put it as always day, but it will move itself through a daylight cycle if you let it. I would have it turn off mob spawning, mob griefing. Mobs are the zombies and the pigs and the other animals. You can have them spawn their own like we did the bees a minute ago.
Mm-hmm.
And you may want to have them turn off the weather cycle. It will sometimes, like I said, it'll turn to night and it will sometimes start raining also. So just for lesson reasons, I would turn the weather cycle off and I would make it always day. But those are choices you can make in your classroom. Once you've made all those choices, we can come to play and it will build our world for us. So I left it as a flat world, and that's really all I got. It's just a flat world. I think this is best for you to, if you're going to have the students build something particular, this is the best way to start, I think, is just in a plain flat world. There's no trees in the way. There's no animals or anything in the way. So I'm going to hit escape to pause, save and exit, and I'll just show you what it looks like if we create a new world. New world. There we go. I'm going to leave it, switch to creative. I'm going to leave it as an infinite world just so you can see what that looks like. Play. It's going to build this one up.
Now, you mentioned that they could work in partners in small groups.
Yep.
That's just the hosting function that they would use, or?
Yeah, students can host each other as well.
I see. Okay.
One student would go into the world and start hosting. They'd get their code, and then the other students would go to that main menu and hit join world, and they would use the code there that their partner gave them. So here's an infinite world.
Wow.
And you see it just, we have a giant mountain over there, snow-covered peaks, clouds and sun. We have a lake or an ocean. There's some animals. And you can see there's not a whole lot of flat space. So it could be, if you were wanting them to build something specific, it could be a little bit challenging to try and do that. Yeah. Students can come in here and just start breaking up blocks and start and mine things and start building that way. But it depends on how you want to use it. Just depends on how you want to use it. So this is what an infinite world looks like. And they're all different. Like sometimes you'll go into an infinite world and you'll be like on top of a snowy mountain or in a desert or something like that. So I'm actually flying right now to go see.
Do they automatically populate those landscapes, or? I mean, you say snowy mountains.
Yeah, Minecraft has all these. Yeah. Sometimes you'll get into, like, I just found a hole in this mountain. Let's go explore and see what's down here.
Goblins.
Now, to get into my inventory, when you're in creative mode, you have access to the full inventory. I push the E key on my keyboard, and I can do some. I can look for a torch. Click and hold this, add it to my inventory. And now I have a torch in my hand. It's in slot 1. I can walk forward, and when it starts getting dark, I can right-click to add the torch to the ground. And I can keep going down and just explore what's happening down in this giant hole. Your students who have played survival before will notice that this particular block right here is coal. And if you're playing survival, then survival just throws you into a world and makes you survive. So you actually have to build your own hole like this in survival and find things like coal and other alloys and start making your own weapons and fires and things like that. We found a little underground lake. So I'm going to double tap my space bar to start flying, and we'll just get out of this world, or out of this hole. All right, so there's that.
Is there somewhere that has a list of all the keystrokes?
I'll send you a document we made. There's a beach over here.
That would be great.
I'm going to save an exit, and with the last few minutes, I want to show you some other ideas I had on how you can use this just in class. I'm going to click on View My Worlds. It's being very glitchy and weird today. There it is. So here's a world I made just to show you some examples of things that I think you can use it for. This one over here is a little garden that I built. If I fly up, we can kind of see what things look like. Come on. There we go. So I made a little 10 by 10 square. I covered it with flowers. And then from my inventory, I used a sign. Pull up inventory. And if I type in sign, I'm going to click on the little magnifying glass there, search box, type in sign. I have a bunch of options for signs. Add this to my inventory.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I click on that slot 7, I right click and it gives me a place to write.
Oh, good. Mm-hmm.
So I'll destroy that, but you can see here, I just did this as like a quick fraction lesson. So sunflowers I said is equal to 2/10, 0.2, also 1/5, or 2 over 10, or 20 over 100. Cornflower, as I said, was 0.1, 1/10, 10 hundredths. The roses, daisies, orchids, peonies, 1/100th. I only put one little peony in there. And for lilacs, I said this was a third, 0.33. 33 of them in there. So that's a little fraction garden that I made. Students can easily do something like that. This over here, this is just it's a two-dimensional because it's only one thing high. I built this to show that you can use things like area. The sign says length times width equals area. So this is 3 by 3. So the area that would be 9. The one next to it, length times width times height equals volume. So it's 3 by 3 by 3. We can use things like this to have students practice volume.
Do they have notation and things like that, for the mathematical notation, like a cubed or squared?
Not that I'm aware of. It's all on the keyboard.
Okay.
It's all on the keyboard. It's just whatever the keyboard can do. So there's multiple different ways you can notate things. So just whatever you can type on the keyboard. The hard part is if I start typing and I realize I made a mistake, I can't go backwards. Oh, I can. Sometimes it won't let me. Okay, so this one's going to let me. Not all of the ways will let you go backwards and make typo corrections.
Okay.
Clicking off of that, we'll just put that in the sign in the ground. If we go into our inventory, my magnifying glass for search, we can also pull up things like posters. There's bigger signs you can make if you want students to label things with more than just a couple words. Let's close this. We'll see what the poster looks like. It's a bigger thing. You can add a lot more words to it.
Cool.
Yeah. And then another option, if you want students, depending on how you want students to turn in their work, I'll go back to my inventory and I'm magnifying glass search. I'm going to do a search for book, and book and quill is the one I want. I'll show you quickly what this does. 7. Okay, it's in my hand, which, by the way, right there, the bottom right-hand corner, that is whatever's in your hand. So if I switch to like the flower, see the cornflower popped into my hand there. A lot of people ask what this is in the bottom in that corner. So that is my hand, stuff that I'm holding. So there's the book in my hand, right click to use it. And here's a place where you can type a bunch of stuff. You can type, you can move on to, you can get new pages and type more and more. We can add things like pictures, which means there's got to be a way to take a picture. So if we go to our inventory again and search for camera, I can add a camera to my inventory.
So the book and quill will give me like a ledger book or something.
Yep. Yeah, you can use that to take notes if you want to during some sort of lecture, or if you have students exploring some like a bee garden or something and they want to take notes on their bee gardens, they can use the book and quill for that. Right here, if I use the camera, I want to prove that I built a fraction garden. Put the camera in my hand, I right click, and I just took a picture. I can take multiple pictures. And then because everybody wants to, I'm going to turn around. And you notice when the camera's in my hand, if I look down slightly on the right-hand corner, it's turned to place. So I can actually put the camera on the ground. Then I put my cursor on it and it says take picture. Now it's like an old-timey, it's going to take a picture of me. Ka-chow in front of my garden. So now if I want to prove to my teacher that I've actually been working today,
good.
I go to my book and quill, I go to page 1, and the pencil edit here, I can add the pictures that I took. On this side, I can say, this is a picture of my decimal garden.
Oh, okay.
I used examples of, they can put a bunch, they can put whatever the decimals are they used in their decimal garden. I can go to a new page, pencil again. I can put the picture of myself, my character in there, in front of it. This is me in front of my decimal garden. Done. Once students are done creating their whole book, they can click on sign right down here. If I click on sign, there's a title. So I can enter Seth decimal. So that's decimals. It only gives me certain things. When I click sign and close, now when I click sign and close, I can't change anything about the book anymore. That book is done. Sign and close. Now it's just, you see it's fancy glowing purple.
Yeah.
It is signed. I can't do anything else with it, but if I right click on it now, I can export it. For me, this is going to export as a PDF to the hard drive of my computer. For students, it'll export as a PDF to their Google Drive. and then they can turn it into an LMS like Google Classroom or something like that. And you can go through and look at all their books.
Cool. Okay, great.
Yeah. And then just for fun, I also was thinking like not everybody's going to be wanting doing math, so I built this little building over here. Just as another example of something you could do in class. Called it bag end. If I go inside, there's Bilbo Baggins inside of bag end. His table's set for 14 people. He's got a nice little bed over here. If I right click on him, I've got him set to tell me the first paragraph of the book, The Hobbit.
Very, very cool.
Yeah, so you can have students like build a setting of a story they're reading in class.
Yeah.
Whatever they think the setting looks like. You know, in The Hobbit, Bilbo Baggins lived on what did it say? A hole in the ground, right? It was supposed
Yep.
to be like a little. So this is his little hole. It's all dirt and grass. Coming inside, it's not a nasty little hole. It's comfortable. We have beds and torches and fire. Yeah, so you can have students build that. They can add things like this when they're building their NPCs. That's what this is. Bilbo here is an NPC, and that is I have him in slot 2 there. If I go to my inventory and I type in NPC, I get that little rainbow egg. If I put that in my hand by pushing 2 and right clicking, I can't do it. I have to go to world builder mode. So slash on my keyboard, WB brings up world builder. Now I can right click and then right click again, and I can edit my NPC. So I can give him a name, change what he says, change how they look. If I click on advanced setting, I can put a URL. So if I just wanted to go to another website, or if I wanted to open like a book report that I wrote in Google Docs, I can add those URLs here. So there's some.
That's great.
Different ways you can use some language arts skills in Minecraft, some math skills. The book, some language arts stuff too. So that's all. Yeah, quick and dirty. How to use a bunch of different school subjects in Minecraft.
When kids are typing text, do they have any functionality with regards to spell check or paragraph phrasing or anything like that, or is it all just?
I don't think so.
Okay. I just see what they have. Okay.
So that is, yeah. And if we have like, I know we started late and I kind of talked fast, but we have like 2 minutes left. Any last minute questions?
No, I think the kids are going to have a lot more to tell me about than I know, so
Sure.
they'll teach me. But yeah, this has been a good intro.
Good. And
I
yeah,
never
if
could
you,
understand. Sorry, Seth.
go
I
ahead.
never could understand the Minecraft connection. What is mining? But when you're destroying or yeah, you're building and then destroying things. You're taking things away instead of
Yes.
deleting them.
Yeah. So if students are ever playing in like survival mode, like I mentioned before,
Mhm.
survival mode, they have to actually almost start off by mining like down into the ground or cutting down trees. If they want to find things like weapons and be able to make their own swords and things, they have to mine down into the ground and find the different alloys and craft um, a furnace and all that to be able to combine those alloys and make their own swords and axes and things. It's
Mhm.
Yeah, they have to mine things and then craft them. That's where it comes from.
Yeah. Cool. I see. So this is going to be this recording. I hate it that it's going to be all my conversation with you, but you're going to be sharing that online somehow, the recording?
I'll figure something out. Yeah, because
Okay.
I was not the initial host of this. I have to make sure I get it back from Ali, and then I'll edit it and share it out. It may take me a couple days to get all that done, but yeah, I
Okay.
will email you. I'll email the two of you some of the things I talked about, some of the documents we have for this.
Yes, please. That would be helpful.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
and
shortcut.
because we started so fast, I forgot to have you sign in, so I'll email you the sign-in sheets too.
Okay.
All that right now.
Cool. Well, thank you for your help. I appreciate
Yeah, of
it.
course.
It's
And
going to give us
if
some
you need any
fun.
other help, just let me know. Contact me. I can come out and sit with you one-on-one, or like help you start working with some of your classes too.
That
I
would be
spent some
fun.
time with the gifted classes at Marianne Binford last year.
Did you? Yeah. Yeah. This is perfect for gifted cross-curricular connections and all that good stuff. So
Yeah.
thank you. I appreciate your time.
Yeah, of course. Thank you. All right. Bye.